Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope everyone is doing amazing. Today's video is a makeup tutorial for you guys. It is inspired by the occasion of Eid. I wanted to do something that was quite universal, something that wasn't too difficult but made you look like you put in that extra bit of effort. So if you do like the look of my makeup and you want to learn how I got this look, then please keep watching. Okay, just to save us a bit of time, I've already popped on some foundation and just filled in my brows a little bit. So with a look like this, I tend to go with my eyes first. That way if there's any fallout, we've got time to wipe it away before we put on any concealer. So we're going to prep the lids with our Urban Decay Primer Potion. It's a really nice, cute little one. We're going to pop this on our lids like so. I'm just going to give it a little blend out just with my finger. And this is just going to help to keep the eyeshadow on so it lasts all day. It's not got any colour in either, so you can't really see that it's on. So I'm going to use this eyeshadow from Sigma. It's called Topaz. It's a nice shimmery nude. So I'm going to use a nice fluffy brush in the crease of my eye and keep the brush there on the crease and just move it back and forth. So this is just going to create a nice transition colour. So once we put all the shades on, it'll just blend out really nicely. You're not going to go too high. You don't want to go as high as your eyebrow. You want a nice space between that. Again with the other eye in the crease. You're going to start in the middle because that's where you want the most colour, and you're just going to blend it outwards following your eye shape. Okay, next I'm going to go in with the same brush of the Huda Beauty Mauve's Obsession palette, and I'm going to go for this shade here. It does look quite pink, but on my skin it does show up quite peachy. So I'm going to go with that same shade, and I'm just going to go slightly under the colour that we've just put on, just to emphasise it and make that colour stand out a bit more. So you're basically just creating layers in that transition shade there. So that's going to be more on the crease. You can see that colour a bit more, and you can see how it just fades out to that original colour that we put. Okay, so now that we've got our transition colour, I'm going to deepen the crease a little bit, and this is Espresso from M.A.C, and I'm going to use this brush from Urban Decay, a nice pointed brush, and basically we're going to pop it right in the crease of our eyes just to add some depth in and just to add some colour in there that's a bit deeper and create a nice contoured eye socket. So we're just keeping it in the crease, and you want to hold the brush pretty much on the skin the whole time. You don't want to keep lifting off. You want to hold it there and just buff it slightly on that crease, creating a nice C shape there. Okay, so once we've done that, we're now going to deepen the crease even more, and this is Embark from M.A.C. So basically we are creating layers. You basically just want to make sure that every shade that you've put on is really well blended out, and then you've got a darker shade on top to create that depth and that definition. So you are creating layers on your eyes, so it is going to feel like you're going to be adding a lot of colours, but it'll just look even nicer once it's done. So you're going to use the same pointed brush and go over that brown that we've just used, but you want to keep it a bit more defined and a bit more of a line rather than a smoked, blown out contour in your crease. So we'll just pop that in. Again, keep your brush on your lid. It's actually quite hard to talk while you're buffing. Learn something new every day, don't we? So again, in this crease over here, just pop that in. You just want to make it a bit more defined. Okay, so now as you can see, we've almost created this half moon sort of shape that we've got going on here. So I'm going to get some concealer. This is Pro Longwear by M.A.C. I'm just going to squirt a little bit out. We're going to pop it on our lids on the inner corner, and you're going to create a half, sort of like a half C or a half circle on the inner corner through that middle bit there where it gets darker, and that's going to work as a base for us for our glitter or our sparkly gold or our shimmer, just basically the brightest area of our eyes. So we're going to pop that inside. Take your time with this as well, like you don't want to rush this. Tend to do it with concealer, it just gives a nice clean finish. So give your eye a stretch if you need to get into that corner bit there, and just pull the brush through. And you almost want to create like a half cut crease. So you're not going as far as the end of the eye, you're just keeping it on basically like 3/4 of the eye. Can you see there? You're going to do like a half cut crease. Okay, so we're going to go back with the pointy brush and the darker shade that we had before, and we're just going to go back over that dark shade there and just make sure that our crease is really nice and defined. So when we close our eyes, you can see how that darker colour goes all the way through our eye. So we're just going to deepen that. You'll find as well with looks like this, you will keep going over things and you will just keep darkening them and blending them in just to make sure you've got a really nice finish. So it's soft but it's smoky. And also when you're adding things like glitter and whatnot, it can get a bit messy. So it is important to just take your time with these sort of looks. So as you can see, it's like a half circle inside, and we've got the nice darker shade around. So now is a bit more of a fun part. So we're going to use this flat brush here by M.A.C, and we're basically going to just wet it with Fix Plus. And we're going to use a pigment. So the pigment that I'm going to use is Melon. I just think pigments are a really nice base for any glitters. It just helps it stand out more. Cover my brush both sides with that pigment and just make it a little bit more flat. It might need to be wet a bit more, so just keep doing it until you can really feel that it's got a nice silky soft finish, because you don't want it to go flaky or powdery as you're popping it on. So we're basically now we're going to go over with that colour over where we put the concealer. So we're going to cut it a bit more defined, so you're not going to blend this out. This is your base for your gold glitter. Just give it a little bit of a stretch so you can see a bit more. And you can see already how much that's made it pop and stand out compared to this eye. So just do the same on the other eye. Just make sure that you are using a wet brush with a pigment. You don't want it to be flaky. Okay, so now our pigmented colour is on and we've got a really nice defined cut there. We're going to darken the outside corner of our eyes, and we're going to do that with a bit of Carbon. That is just the black matte eyeshadow from M.A.C. You don't have to use black. Not everybody wants to go as dark on the outer corner of their eyes, so if you don't want to, just keep building on that dark brown or just add in more ashier tones of brown because you want to keep it a bit more cool. But we're going to use Carbon, and I'm just going to show you how I use it. So I just pop it basically in the lower corner of the eye and give it a little wiggle. So you're going to create it upwards and sideways, creating a little triangle shape there, and then you're going to buff it out slowly into that brown shade. So upwards and sideways. That's really going to soften that definition where you've got the gold where it ends and the darker shade where it starts. So just give that a light buff. This is just a short fluffy brush that I'm using, and just buff that in that corner, just so it gets a nicer, smokier, darker effect. Okay, so there we have our smoked out corners with Carbon. So now that we've done that, we're now going to go on with our glitter. So grab yourself whatever glitter you like to use. I am using Bronze by M.A.C. I think I'm pretty much using M.A.C in this whole makeup makeover. Again, with the primer that we used at the start, I'm just going to pop a little bit of that on my hand. It's just going to help it to stick better. The pigment that we've used was wet and it would have dried by now, but it's not necessarily going to hold onto that glitter all day for you. So I'm just going to use the same brush that we used on the pigment, pop the primer on the brush and just tap it lightly on top of the pigment. And I'm going to grab some glitter and we're going to just add that to it. So just lightly press it on, just so it really mixes well with that primer that we've just popped on. And then again on the other eye. I just realised how many faces you actually pull when you're trying to record yourself doing makeup. It is not pretty. So grab yourself a wet wipe or whatever it is that you want to use and give your under eye a nice wipe. We will be putting on eyeshadow underneath. It's just for now, we want to get the rest of our base done, and then we're going to come back to our eyes and finish it off. So just give it a nice clean wipe, and I'm just going to pop that underneath my eye area. So I never normally do this much concealer. I'm that person. I would just literally do this and say that I'm done. So with this being a heavier makeup look, plus I feel like you can't see it through the camera unless it's heavier, I'm just gonna go crazy with concealer. So we're gonna add some concealer all the way across our under eye, and you want to just create a nice smooth finish as well for around the eye. So I actually sharpen out the edges. If we were doing like a full smoky eye where you just wanted it to be like smoked all the way around, then obviously your concealer wouldn't need to be that sharp at all. So we're just doing that for now because underneath I wanted it to be quite clean, quite neat, and we are also going to do a wing as well, so I just wanted it to be a lot more sharper underneath. I'm also going to just pop a bit of concealer down my nose, through the center of my forehead, and a little bit on my chin. See, in real life we don't look this crazy, but the camera just makes you look insane. So grab yourself a sponge or whatever it is that you want to use and just give it a blend. I mean, I feel like you don't need to see me doing all of this right now. Grab yourself some translucent powder or setting powder, just whatever you use. I like translucent powder. I don't like to add too many different colours. So I just find translucent powder just sets it nicely. We're going to use this matte bronzer, and we're going to just basically contour with this. You can do it as light or as heavy as you like. I tend to do it quite light. I will probably go a bit heavier, just seeing as I want it to capture a bit more on the camera right now, and also it's for an occasion. So I'm going to grab some of this with a nice angled brush and just start buffing. So you're going to aim for the top of your ear and start little circular motions and just start bringing it down. You don't want to go past this line here. If you smile, see this line that we've got here? We've all got them lines. You don't want to go past them lines. You don't want to go any further around your mouth. That way it keeps your mouth nice and bright and your contour is nice and structured and just kept on your cheek. Okay, so if you really want your contour to stand out, you can't see mine much in this camera, but if you really want it to stand out, what you can do is go underneath your contour very lightly with some concealer, and then you're going to blend that downwards. That way it's going to make your contour sharp and stand out a lot more. That way, even if it's not that dark, it will just help it look a lot more sharper, and it will just capture nicer in any pictures that you might take. I mean, why not? You're going to have amazing makeup, so take as many pictures as you like. Okay, so next, grab yourself a nice blusher, a big fluffy brush, give yourself a smile and just add a little bit of blusher and a pop of colour to the apples of your cheeks. You don't want to have too much colour because we're going to do a nice bold lip, but you just want something there just to fill in that space that we've got. It's insane how much blusher can do for you and how much it can just brighten your face for you. I tend to pop a bit on the forehead and a little bit on the chin just so that my face matches itself, and it's just nice and coordinated with the rest of my makeup. Okay, so next we're going to go with some highlighters. This is the Anastasia Glow Kit. It is like my favourite highlighting palette. We're going to pop on this White Sand shade here, and we're just going to pop it at the top of our cheeks and blend that in downwards. It has the most amazing glow. Look at that. It's the tiniest bit. And it just pops your cheekbones right out. Especially when you're like me and you don't even have any. Look at that. So I'm going to pop a little bit here and a little bit above the arches of my eyebrow. So I'm going to spray my brush with Fix Plus, and to really make my highlighter stand out. It can stand up as well if it wants. We're going to just create some layers. So this is Oh Darling by MAC. I'm going to dab that in there. And we're going to pat it across, and you can just see the effect that that's got. It's got a nice wet look, sheen, glowy finish. It's a hard claw glowy finish, that. And it just brightens up your whole face. So that is a really nice highlighter to pop on top. it's important as well, so if you are layering up highlighters and you are layering up eyeshadows, make sure that the tones are similar. The colour obviously isn't going to be the same, but it's important to just make sure the undertone is similar. So I'm going to grab the highlighter again with a sharper, pointier brush, and I'm going to pop it underneath my brow, well, just the arch of my brow, on both sides. That's just going to make my brow stand out nicely. And the inner corner of my eyes, so just very lightly pop that in the corner there. And down the centre of my nose, so you're going to create a little bit of highlighting pop there, and then on the tip of my nose. That was my mum. So just keep building on that highlight until you're happy. And then also your Cupid's bow as well. So just go over the top of your lip. This just creates a really nice pout, and it just helps your lips to stand out really nice in any pictures that you might take as well. It looks crazy having this much highlighter on camera, but I promise in real life I don't look insane. I am gonna just jump off really quickly, pop some eyeliner and my lashes on, just because I cannot do it in this camera, it is too small, so I will be 2 seconds. Okay, let's be honest, how much nicer does that look? So these are my eyelashes by Unicorn Cosmetics, and the eyeliner that I used was Brush Black by M.A.C. So as you can see, I've actually created a bit more of an Arabic finish with my eyeliner, so it just goes right into the corner of my eye and it just flicks out to a nice thin flick. The lashes are really full, really nice and fluffy eyelashes. So any products that I have put on, even off camera, I will list below. So we're just going to finish it off with a little bit of colour underneath our eyes. So we're just going to use an angled brush. Actually no, we're not. We're going to use the fluffy brush that we started off with. So the colour that we put in the crease, the very first colour, the Topaz colour by Sigma, that is this one over here, we're going to pop that underneath our eyes. So we're just going to blend it very close to our eyelash line and just pop that under our eyes. You're not going to go as far as the eyeliner on the end, you're just going to keep it underneath your eyes. Okay, serious question. Who knows why we open our mouths when we are putting on our eye makeup or doing anything with our eyes? It makes no sense. So we're going to go with the angled brush and Carbon Black and go right near our eyelash line. See? I'm doing it already. Mouth is wide open. Why do we do it? So Carbon Black, just keep building on it. You want to go basically as dark as you want to go. So keep building on it. Turn your brush around when you're getting further into the corner, just so you've got a nicer, sharper finish. Okay, that is everything complete but our lips. I've just popped on some mascara on my bottom lashes and some eyeliner inside of my eyes. So now we will do some lipstick. So I've picked out a nice bright red. Anyone who knows me knows I'm either a nude girl or a red. I very rarely wear pink on my lips. If I am wearing pink, it's because I have planned to wear that colour. So today I'm going to go with red. This is M.A.C Red, of course, and Cherry Lip Liner. I showed this in my makeup haul. It's a really nice deep blue red, so it's a really nice lip pencil for you to contour your lips with before your lipstick. So I'm just going to pop that on again off camera because I don't know how I'm going to do it in this camera. Okay, that is it from me for today. Thank you everyone who tuned in to watch my first ever makeup tutorial. It is incredibly appreciated. I hope you feel a little bit inspired for Eid, or if you've got an occasion coming up. Enjoy your day with your loved ones, and hopefully I'll be seeing you soon.